So, I forget who says it. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt that said comparison is the thief of joy. And I was reading this thing yesterday, like it was just like a quote, and I agree with that. That it's why I don't compare myself to anybody. I learn from people, I get inspired by people, um I don't know how to explain it, but I also don't look up to anybody either because I understand that I'm on the same level. Like, back when there was just like TV, okay? You basically went in the living room, watched a big screen, and, well, a semi big screen, right? And just watched people on the TV. And there was only a select few people on that TV. Like, there's only a select few actresses or actors, there's only a select few musicians or this or that. So if you were able to meet one of the people on the TV, you might look at them like they're different than you because they're on the TV. What social media has done is it's made it so it's almost like gonna kill off the idea of a celebrity. And like, you'll have just social media people, like, I guess you can call them social media influencers. Then there's going to be social media documenters. There's going to be social media, because I'm more like a social media documenter, documenting my thoughts, documenting things as I'm just going through my life, living my life. But I also just, kind of do the thing. But I'm doing me. Like, everything I do is literally just an expression. Maybe that has to do with the fact that I'm an artist, and I've been an artist since I was 11, and I've been an obsessed artist since I was 11. Like, it's all I did. I'm an only child. It was just me and my mom. Once I got a computer and a microphone, learned how to record, and that was it. Like, and I did that and that was it. And spent time doing that. And then eventually I had the studio where I would record other people's music, and I would spend time doing that. And but it was always me expressing me. Um, Back when I had the studio, this was 2011, right? And I had the studio in my basement. People would pay me to record their like songs, and then they'd pay me extra to master the song. Like, and I came up with these ideas. Like, this is why it's like, even back then, I was slightly business minded, where it's like, okay, well, I'm recording their music. I'm paying, if you want me to fix up the song to make it more, professional sounding, that's gonna be a little extra. If not, you could just take the song how it is. Um, and these are just me expressing me, learning and growing and whatever. And even back then, I was, the wannabe thug, but like, there's still that me that's always been inside. Now that me is just on the outside. Now that me is just, I'm not scared to express it. You can call it just authenticity, but I looked at it like, this is beyond authenticity. Because authentic, like, yeah, it's authentic, but it's the only thing I know now. It's no longer like I don't care enough to lie about a situation. Like, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like, I'm not gonna try to whatever. This is just who I am. This is what it is. And yeah, mainly because of the reason why I do this is just expression. So this is expression of thoughts. My songs are expression of feelings, and other things. My ideas are expression of exploration because I like to explore with psychedelics, and sometimes I get some crazy ideas while I do it. But all of this is just me, right? And even now, like, I do social media and branching off from just doing YouTube to now it's gonna take a lot of fucking work, but I gotta download every fucking video from my YouTube channel and put it on Rumble. So I'm on Rumble, and which is basically like a YouTube alternative, and I'm branching off to like using Rumble, um, using all these different, these different things, trying to branch out. um, the only other thing I use really is TikTok, because a lot of people, a lot of people talk shit about TikTok. A lot of people don't like it, but I like TikTok because I've gained a following there faster than anywhere, as well as you get decent, like, I'm getting the right attention and the right traction, and things are flowing. Because all it is a platform to express myself through. Like, sometimes I might, like, do one of the trends, but that's only if I truly enjoy that thing. Or maybe I'm tripping balls and I scroll through TikTok and see this trend. I'm like, hey, fuck yeah. It's like, I'm just having fun living life, and it's like, there's no thought about it really. It's just a matter of me being, without ever thinking about it. I don't ever, like, I don't ever want to think about being me. I don't ever want to think about what I do. I just want to do it. I don't ever want to, and I do think about what I do, and I have to, I think about my ideas and all these different things I have and all these different things I want to do, and I try to plan step by step on whatever, and then I also plan for the fact that it's planned step by step, but it's probably not going to go as planned, but that's fine as well, because I don't do this. It's not like I could fail 100 times at what I'm doing, and I'm not going to stop what I'm doing, because I don't think people don't understand what I'm doing, because I'm not doing what they are doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, even if I'm trying to start my business, even if I'm trying to do social media, even if I'm trying to make music, even if I'm trying to go on tour with my music and start performing and all this, like, it's like I'm doing this differently than others, because I'm just doing this to express me, live life, be free. It's really all about freedom. Like, to me, it's all about the freedom of expression and the freedom to just be me and do me and live my own lifestyle, in a sense. And like, I've kind of put together my own lifestyle where it's like I have a certain lifestyle that I live, which is separate than the normal world. Like, nowadays people call like the normal society way of living the matrix, but they mean like, getting a 9 to 5 job, living a normal life, and then you do this just the normal thing, and the whole TV idea of normal is no longer normal. That's more old and classic now. Like, in the world that we live in today, if somebody is living a quote unquote normal life, to a lot of teenagers or in a lot of young 20-year-olds, the normal life is like a boring life, or like I don't know how to explain it, but there's so much opportunity in the new world of the new, the age of information and all these other things. But the biggest problem with the age of information is, okay, we got social media, there's all these opportunities, there's all these ways to connect and express and all these different things, but we have not been training ourselves to be able to not compare ourselves. We've forgotten that comparison is the thief of joy. This is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why we are losing our joy, in, like, the masses are losing their joy, right? Because we start looking at everyone else. You can now see everyone else. And what's even worse about this is, back in the day when it was just TV, you were seeing people, but these were imaginary people. Like, yeah, they're real people on the screen, but they're actors playing an imaginary character. Where it's like, on social media, these are people just being, but when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to certain things, this is where the problem gets in, where people have, like, it's like we're losing our mind collectively, because people will fake pictures on Instagram to try to fake a certain lifestyle that they live, or try to fake this thing, and it's like, it's shitty, because that person that's trying to fake the thing, they don't realize that if they stop putting so much energy in trying to fake it, they can actually fucking live it. Like, people will spend more time trying to figure out how to trick the world than actually figure out how to just live the life they want to live in the world. Because it's either way is hard. It's hard as fuck to trick the world, and it's hard as fuck to live the life you want to live. But, like, either way, they're both hard. Like, life will never be easy no matter what you do. If you're doing what you love to do every day, it's still not going to be easy. If you're doing what you hate to do every day, it's still not going to be easy. But you got to pick it's still not going to be easy, no matter what. And you got to pick it for you, because this has nothing to do with me or anybody else or the people on Instagram. We should be getting inspired by other people. We should not be getting jealous or spiteful, or we shouldn't be feeling like we're living less or we're less than because they're going to the Bahamas every weekend or banging 7 chicks on this fucking island over there, or going here, or going to Jamaica, or going to Dubai, or they got a Bugatti, or like, yeah, that's great. That's their life. And if you aspire for that, there's also nothing wrong with that. The problem is when people look at people that have things like money, success, cars, whatever, people will feel like, I'm just broke, I work a job, I hate my life. Instead of the realistic version of being like, that's their life, this is mine. And the money and all that shit didn't make them happy. All the smiles that they do in their Instagram photos doesn't mean that they're happy. It's really complicated, but if you're looking at other people in that perspective, you should not be looking at other people. You should be just worrying about yourself, figuring out yourself, and healing yourself, spending more time with yourself, spending more love on yourself, like giving yourself more love, because if I compared myself to Spangle or Bass Nectar or whatever, yeah, I would, maybe I would say my music sounds like shit, cause like my music doesn't sound like Bass Nectar. It's not, whatever, and it's like, it's not supposed to sound like Bass Nectar. It's supposed to sound like me. It's an expression. And as I keep doing it, I'm going to keep getting better at it. It's just like any other thing. Any other art form, over time, you can get better at it. It's anything in life. With life itself, over time, you can get better at it. But you're not going to get better at it if you're sitting here looking at other people like, that dude's doing great, or that girl's doing great, or that person's rich, or that person's happy, or, that'd be like me looking at people like, well, that person has their family still, or and it's like, no, I wouldn't even think about that. I lost the family. I now live alone. That is my reality. Trying to think about other people, like, oh, I wish I had that person's life. That does me no good, and it's a waste of fucking brain space, and it's a waste of time. There is a limited amount of time that we have on the human, planet here. And we shouldn't be wasting our time wondering or putting ourselves down for not having what other people have. We should also try to understand most people are not willing to do the work behind the things that people have. I've done a lot of research behind success and all these different things, so I understand the work behind it and why it's not like some simple thing that people, not everyone has. Success is complicated because success is a word that has been hijacked, because that's a good example of when I say success, there's already people that are sitting there saying, oh, I'll never be rich. And it's like, whoa, bro, I didn't say anything about getting rich. If I talked about getting rich, I would have said the word rich. I said the word success. Because your life success is different than my life success. Like, everyone's life is different. That's why comparison is the thief of joy. Because it's another quote that reminds me of if a fish, I don't know who said this, but they said, if a fish tried to, compare itself to what the fuck did they say? If a fish judged itself on climbing a tree, it would think it was a failure, like, for the rest of its life. Like, a fish will never climb a tree. Monkeys climb trees, animals climb trees, squirrels climb trees. Fishes will never climb trees. And if you're a fish, you should probably learn how to swim. Like, the squirrel or the monkey or the squirrel, they will never swim as good as the fish, as good as the shark, right? But if you're a shark, no matter how strong the shark is, you're still not going to climb the fucking tree. So, you just need to know who you are. And then get to getting good at being who you are, instead of comparing yourself to people who you'll never be. You'll never be the people you see, but you have the possibility to be the greatest version of you. When you look in the mirror and you imagine a version of you that is better than you today, that is stronger than you today, that is more in shape, that is, mental health is healed. Imagine a version of you like that, and that's possible for you, whatever you can imagine. And whatever the people imagined that you're looking at, that's what was possible for them. Because they imagined it, they worked on it, they created it, and they have the life. Now, we can all create our own life. Whatever we want with life, the choice is really ours. But you're going to waste time, and you're taken away from your own life by comparing yourself to other people's lives.